What's up guys, in this video we're going to build a social media insights dashboard using Lovable and social medias. We've got lots of really cool tools that we're going to check out in this video. Now you might be thinking, dude, Jack, building a social media dashboard is difficult, and you may be right, but with Lovable, with a little bit of elbow grease with some AI tools, we're going to make this a reality. This design I quite like. I also quite like the look of this design. So what I want to do in this video, guys, is from scratch, basically show you the tools I'm going to use. We're going to build a game plan together. We're going to scrape stuff. We're going to build it. And at the end of it, I want to have, here's my vision. We're going to build this dashboard together that I'm going to connect to Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. It's going to have all my data. And essentially, it's going to be able to give me AI analysis that my team can then use to make better decisions. Because the TLDR of this, guys, is that data is power, and the more that you know, the more that you can grow. So with that in mind, let's actually start with a game plan. Oh, and by the way, if you don't know me, my name is Jack. I run the largest paid AI automation community on the planet. I help business owners crush it. I've helped thousands do that now. So if you haven't already, grab that coffee. Let's dive straight in. I don't have a coffee today, guys, and that's because it's like 7:20 p.m. And some may say that's a bit controversial, but we'll see. So what's the game plan? I guess the first thing I want to do ultimately is set up a system to scrape my social medias. I'm going to do 3 because those are the 3 that I'm focused on at the moment. So step 1 is going to be to scrape social media. And to do that, of course, we are going to grab these guys in because they're going to be a key part of the scraping. And then the key bit as well, the tools we're going to use. And also, in terms of cost, by the way, guys, this isn't prohibitive. In fact, most of the tools we're using in this video are actually free to use or just a couple of dollars, and I'll point those out to you as we go along. So we've got these 3 we're going to scrape from, which is cool. We're going to use NA10 and or Make, which are going to be on no-code automation platforms, which is really sweet. I'm going to run out of space on this one, guys. How crazy is that? We're going to use, and then to do the actual scraping, we're going to use these 2 tools here, which is Phantom Buster and Apify, both of which, by the way, you can use for free, which is really cool, up to a certain amount, of course. And I think that'll do well, actually. So what's the second thing I want to do? The second thing I want to do, actually, is to build the dashboard. All right. Now I'm going to build the dashboard in Lovable, but what I'm also going to do, guys, is get the database. So I want all this information sat on a database, and that database is going to be in Airtable, aka Google Sheets that's been on Mexican supplements. And then the third one is going to be, we've got data, right? But it's like, you know, data in service of what we want to kind of actually load to an outcome. So we're going to put some, we're then going to connect it to ChatGPT or your AI of choice for amazing results. Cool. With a few S's to emphasize just how flipping amazing these results are actually going to freaking be. Cool. So let's start with the key one. Let's start with LinkedIn. And what I want to do is be able to scrape the data, and then I'm going to add it to Airtable, and then we're going to do the same for YouTube, and then we're going to do the same for Instagram. Okay, so I'm going to start with the mysterious, the wonderful LinkedIn. So let's open up LinkedIn to get started. Cool, so the website I want you to head over to, guys, is going to be none other than phantombuster.com. Kind of looks like a ghost. Why is it a phantom? I have no idea. Cool, so you're going to sign up and you should be able to create an account for free, which is pretty awesome. And basically the way that Phantom Buster works, it's like a scraping platform. It has some really interesting particular use cases. So let's go over to our dashboard at the top left, and you want to go and add a phantom, okay? You click on Browse Phantoms real quick, and the phantom I want you to add is this untitled LinkedIn Activity Extractor, okay? So I come down here, if I type in LinkedIn Activity Extractor, you can click on Use Now. We do really like you. Maybe later, my guy, maybe later. But basically, in fact, let me just delete the other one so that you can actually see what this is about. Let me delete that. Cool. It's cool it gives you one for free, but for our purposes, guys, we only really need one, which is cool. So we click on use now, excuse me. All right, cool. So let's test this one out. Beautiful. Now, what it will ask you to do, guys, is it will give you a URL. So in this case, you can need multiple people. I'm just interested in mine. So if I come over to my profile and I copy this and then come back over to LinkedIn and I just select in a URL. This could be a Google Doc, by the way, if you've got lots of different accounts you want to scrape, but that's like for a different video. And then we click on Save. Cool, and it's actually managed to pull my thing up. Now, one of the things that's going to happen here, guys, is you're going to need to install the Chrome extension. And you won't see this yet. It'll pop up on screen. Add that in, and you see this little ghost. You won't be able to see it on your screen, but there's a little ghost in the top right. And basically what that does is grabs your cookie for LinkedIn, which means it's then able to go and scrape the post. You want to be careful if you're doing a lot of scraping on LinkedIn because they will pick up on that activity and it can have effects on your account. But the purpose of this, I've had absolutely zero issues whatsoever. So I click on Save, which is cool. Now, number of profiles to process per launch. Again, this is important if you, you know, if you're doing multiple at the same time. I'm really only interested in the posts, number of items, track by activity type. I'm going to say 40 because that's just the way that I rock and I roll. Advanced settings. You can, if you want to be specific about like a date you want to do that on, which is really cool, but I wouldn't worry about that too much. Name of files, result, that's cool. Fields to keep, that's fine. I'm gonna click on save. So we've got this one here. I'm just gonna click run this one once. We can actually launch this in the scenario periodically when we would like to in make.com, which is absolutely fine. And then click on save, which is cool. And then let's click this launch right here. And what this should do then is basically grab all the stuff that I've been yapping about and talking about. Like success stories, random stuff happening, blah, 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 blah. You get the beautiful idea. Look at me getting on blast, these unread DMs, oh my goodness. But basically what's gonna happen, guys, is this is gonna complete. Once that's actually finished, we're gonna grab that data and we're gonna pull it through a make. So whilst that's kind of working beautifully in the background, what I wanna do then is head over to, in fact, not make, I'm gonna head over to N8N. So let's go to N8N real quick. Okay, so I've landed over into N8N. So let's just create this one here. LinkedIn Phantom Buster. Beautiful. Obviously, guys, if you're not using LinkedIn, feel free to skip all these parts and just go to the bits that are most relevant to you. So click on add a first step. We are going to go for Phantom Buster, which is this guy right here. I think they've got that old logo actually, which is cool. And the one I want to look at here, guys, is going to be to get the output of an agent like so. Right? And it's going to ask for an agent name or ID. You'll need to connect it to Phantom Buster. To connect it, just come over to your dashboard, click on your name, come down to API keys here. And when that's loaded up, you can actually copy, you know, add an API key, copy that code, come back over then to the beautiful N8N, and then pop it in. Once you click here, add new credential, you see, enter it in there, and then you're going to be ready to rock and roll, and that will connect it for you, okay? So if I come back over then to our beautiful scenario, that has actually completed, and we've got 26 results. And would you look at this, guys? We've got all the information. So here's post content, here's how many likes I had, how many comments I had. And so personally, guys, what I want to be able to do with my team is to kind of build this badass dashboard, right? With all this information about like, okay, what post did really well? Like what did people resonate with? And then use that information to make better content. But next week, just kind of happening on autopilot in the background. People joining the school community in the background. Hey, it's all happening at the same time. This is awesome. Cool. So we've got all this individual data, which is awesome. So what do we want to do? We go back over then to N8M and we want to select an agent or name. Now this will just pull through that one. Then look, if you click on test step, this should load, and then you see it's got 26 items, guys. So that's basically pulled through all this key information. How many likes, how many comments, when it was posted, how many views it's got, all this information. Then what we want to do is add that into Airtable. So let's now go ahead and create our beautiful Airtable account. Okay, I'm in Airtable, I come to the bottom line, I click on create and start from scratch, which is really cool. So come over here and we'll call this one social. In fact, I've got this Loom logo. Let me get this guy out of here. Oh my goodness, get this guy out of here. Okay, we're back. So table one, we're gonna call LinkedIn. Okay, and let's just add some new tables. In fact, I'll do that later. So let's look at the data that we've got then, guys, just to decide what we wanna do. Unlimited down below if you like these kind of like build and chill. Who needs Netflix and chill when you can build and chill these days? Do you know what I'm saying? All right, cool. So what have we got? We've got image URL. Let's just find out what that image URL is. Is that something that I posted? Okay, that was just an image I uploaded. That's cool. That could be handy, right? Post URL. Okay, post URL is definitely something we want to add in there, right? So let's go to here. First one is going to be, okay, URL for the post. Cool. Decent. Actually, I'm going to be really finicky here, guys, and I'm basically going to put post URL. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then I'm just going to delete all these guys, and you'll see why in a second, just because it'd be easier. Delete, delete, delete. Cool. Add new one up. And what else have we got? What else do we kind of want in there? Post content would be cool. Sweet. Yeah, post content, long text is cool. Let's add another one in, and what else would be relevant? Comment count, repost. Actually, do you know what, guys? I'm going to go crazy here. I'm just going to have speech. Cool. There's a number of comments. That's cool. And now we want reposts, right? And maybe repeat or something. Yeah, okay. Reposts. That's decent. And then what else have we got? Do we want likes? And views, cool, add those ones in. Okay guys, let's add in likes. And views. Obviously, these could be numbers. I'm just putting long text because I made it a little bit lazy. And we'll add some eyeballs in. Beautiful. Okay, great. And basically, at this stage, you just go through and select what data you think is flipping relevant. Anything else is relevant? Timestamp. Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. Yeah, we'll just put when it was posted. That seems like that'd be quite reasonable, right? And then we'll just do when posted. And then that's cool. Beautiful. All right, cool. So next thing to do is actually social media domination. And you know, guys, the reason why I'm building this automation is because it's something that I was like, I need to build this. And I was like, oh, I'll just freaking jump on the channel and just show you guys what I'm actually building in my business. Beautiful. Okay, cool. This is decent. All right. So let's go over to LinkedIn. Let's pin this data. In other words, N8N will like hold it tight in there like a treasured loved one for us. And then I come over here and I go to Airtable. All right, beautiful. What do I want to do? Well, I kind of want to like create a record. Let's have a look. And let's now pick the base that we've got here, guys. It's Cisco social media domination. Let's have a look. Authorization has failed. Oh my goodness, we've been kicked out. Let's see if this one works. No. Okay, guys, I'm being kicked out of Airtable. So let me just create a new credential real quick, and it's asking for an access token. So let's go over to Airtable and just create that real quick. Okay, so come over here. I think it's from the developer hub that we need. Could be the builder hub. Oh, cool. We'll create a new token. Name this one be Beast. And let's give it some scopes. I'm going to give it all the scopes in the world. Cool, so I've added bases, I've added scopes. I come down to access, and let's just give it to all and future current, basically workspaces, and create a token. Cool, and then you've created the token. You just copy it, basically. And then we're going to come over to our beautiful scenario. Come down to access token, post it in, click save, and we should be connected. We're connected. Okay, cool. So then we don't need to save that password. Thank you, my man. Click on base, and we should start to see all my stuff. Cool. So we're looking for social media domination. Okay, beautiful. And then mapping. No columns found in Airtable. Are you sure about that? We're going to map it automatically. Actually, no, we're going to map each column manually. Okay, we need to pick the table, which is LinkedIn. Cool. It is cool. It will map automatically sometimes if they're all named the same, which I didn't name them the same because I like to live dangerously and make things more difficult than they need to be sometimes. Cool. And that's come down. Green means it's good. Post content. Beautiful. Comment count. Where's comment count? Beautiful. LinkedIn's a funny platform, right, guys? Where's the reposts? Repost count. That's why. And then likes. This is when I go a bit rogue. When I start naming it things with emojis, guys. This is the price I pay. This is the price I pay for trying to make it look really cool. And then we want views. Obviously, that won't be on every single thing that we have, which has a view count. And then when posted, it's just simply post timestamp. Beautiful. Okay, decent. And then I think if we just go for something known as test step, this should add it up. Your request is invalid or could not be processed by the item. Cannot pass value 6 for field comment count. Okay, that sounds controversial. Let's go over and see what's going on with field 6. Is that because that's text and not number? Okay, let's come back and try that one more time. Let's see what's going on with that. And test this one more time. Cannot pass value 0 for field reposts. So I wonder if it's just because these are numbers and it's saying, hey, I know you've lazily put text, but we will not allow that. So let's just quickly change these all to numbers. What else have we got? Yeah, reposts. Okay, we've got numbers. Let's go for, yeah, that's fine. What else have we got? Comment count. Yeah, it's numbers. Yeah, I think that's fine. Actually, just views then, really, isn't it? Yeah, beautiful. All right, sweet. Let's go check that out and test this one more time. And it looks a little bit more promising, which is code for good news. Columns are outdated. How dare you refer to my columns as outdated? I think that's highly offensive. But guys, look, we got it. We got the beautiful, all these posts I did. Guys, look how much hard work I'm putting into LinkedIn. Can you believe it? All right, so this is cool. These are all deleted. And this is code for good news. There's just something harsh about 0.0. Let me just change this for the aesthetics. Right click, and I think we just want to go for, normally it lets you change this. I wonder if it's because I've got a different thing here. If I come down, instead of edit field, there you go, decimal places is 0, and that should tidy up a little bit. Okay, that's cool. I'm just going to do the same for these real quick. All right, guys, we've done it. We have successfully scraped this stuff. And if we wanted to do some repeat, we would just basically add a module into NA10 to run this every single week. And then that would just add it constantly to the Airtable, blah, 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 and we're done. So this is linked in. Beautiful. So the next thing I'm gonna do is to do the wonderful Instagram. So to do that, let's head over to Appify, like so, and let's log in. I'll put a link down below for Appify, guys. If you check out, you do get $5 completely free every single month. And would you look at this, guys? We've got Instagram Scraper already working for us in the background. So let's go to the Appify store, the Willy Wonka's Emporium. And almost by magic, guys, one of the top ones out there is this Instagram Scraper. So let's click on him. Beautiful. All right. What do we want to do? This is Hormozy as an example. Let me just grab my URL. In fact, I'll just have his data in here. It'd just be easy, just for, actually, no, I need my own data, actually, because I need this to be accurate. All right, so this is my beautiful profile. We've got some school game stuff happening on here, guys. Hormozy roasted my, my channel. Don't ask me too many questions about that. No, but in all seriousness, that was really cool. I really appreciate that. Got a lot of valuable, beautiful insight from that. It's a great post. Yeah, that's cool. Let's have a look at what I do. Max results. Let's have a look, actually. No, we're not really interested in search queries, actually, to be fair, guys. Yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. So we come down, absolute. Yeah, new event. So what we can do, actually, when we run this in the automations, is we can say, hey, only do this for the last, like, 7 days. The reason why that's really freaking cool is because then it'll just always only go back for 7 days. So let's just test this actually works. So click save and start, and this should start to run beautifully in the background. And then what I'm going to do is then build this in NA10. Now, if I head over to NA10, I should also be able to do it in this one here. Now, if I add a new item, if I come down here, Appify might already be in here. But I think what we want to do, so like, basically, guys, Make has a module for it, but you can use it in NA10 if you want to. You just have to use this HTTP request thing instead. So let's have a little play around with that, actually. And to do that, I'm just going to head over to Qwen and log in. And if you're wondering what is Qwen, let me just tell you guys, Qwen is like DeepSeek, but is actually accessible. And the reason I'm using Qwen, I use Qwen and Claude, is because Qwen can just access the internet and also think. So basically, what I'm going to do to it, if it's like any API, I say, hey, I want to integrate Appify into NA10. I would like to do the asynchronous call, meaning it runs the actor and retrieves the data in the same request, I guess you would say. Here is the info you might need. And then here's crucially, guys, say please create for me a curl request. Curl is just something where you can like copy it. And then actually what happens, guys, in our phenomenal NA10 scenario, import curl, is you just paste it and then it does all the freaking nonsense of just filling out headers and query parameters and all that sort of stuff. So we just always good to state your intention when we talk in these models. Like, look, this is actually what I'm trying to do, because it'll just, sometimes it takes what you say too literally and you go down beautiful rabbit holes, which can be fun, but you know, time is a beautiful thing. All right, cool. So this has pulled 3 posts down. That's not quite what I wanted though, because what I wanted really was reels, not so much the posts. So this is leading me to believe that I might actually be on the wrong thing. So scrape posts, scrape comments, scrape profile, reels. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. Let me just redo this again. Okay, cool. I mean, posts are cool, but like if it's for growth, all growth usually is reels, isn't it? So if I come down to JSON, that's absolutely fine. I'm just going to duplicate this page just so I can do some stuff. And you always know that Appify is working, guys, when you see this memory usage at the bottom left-hand side doing some stuff. And would you believe it? It has pulled through loads of cool data. We like this. I thought it said one of my things was sponsored. Isn't that really funny? All right, cool. So what do we do? If I come back over to the Instagram scraper, this is it. Click on JSON. And then this is the JSON for the profile, right? So all you're going to do is basically copy all this JSON like so, and come back over to Qwen. So hey, the JSON for the scraper. And I think it also needs, on top of that, I believe that it needs to know what the name of the thing is, which is the actor. Yeah, so if I come here and I just say, hey, actor name. And also, I wonder if this code is relevant. I don't believe it is, but sometimes I just throw this information just for the sake of it, which is in the description. And then I also want to say, if you need any other info, like API, let me know. Although, to be fair with you, I'm not really going to put my API into Quen. I'm just going to get it and I'll just leave the API blank and then we can add that in separately once it's done. So Quen is thinking, which is good. We want it to, quote unquote, think as much as possible. By the way, while we're still loading, guys, have you seen like the image gen stuff? I have to show you the stuff, right? It is freaking unbelievable. Like the level ChatGPT's got to is in freaking insane. I think I did a post on this, didn't I? Where is it? Yeah, so dude, some guy in my community, Noel, he freaking made this. Look how freaking badass this is, dude. This is, yeah, because you know AI's been stealing my gains. I did like an AI generated image and it made my arms like drain pipes. We got Adam, man, we got this is cool. This represents our levels. So like one of the things I'm going to do is create like certain levels in the group. You get like stickers and we just like send a lot of cool stuff out. But it's getting insane. Like there's also another tool that I covered, which is how you can get text and images now. It's on freaking it's actually a genuine step change that has really, really impressed me. So it's quite done yet. Okay, this is cool. Right, let's go check if it works. And so if I come over to our beautiful thing here, click on import curl, insert, and then import. This is decent. Nice. Now we just need to give authentication, which is our API token. So let's just grab that from Apify. Where would that be? Let's see if we can find it. It's always a little squirrely journey to find your API key to these places. Right, I'm in settings. Let's have a quick look. Right there, API integrations, cool. Click on this, and then let's just copy or create API key, come back over to your beautiful scenario, and guys, API token, just enter it here. Cool, now let's click on test step. I'm assuming this won't work. Yeah, there we go, we have bad news. There's no API endpoint at this URL. Did you specify it correctly? Cool, so I'm just gonna copy this error real quick. I could think about it, but it's gonna be quick to do this. Let's just enter that back in there and come back and get a little bit of a troubleshoot. I suspect what it's done is not checked the key bits for Apify scraping. Yeah. Okay, so it's given us a correct URL command. Let's copy this and try this one more time. Come back over to N8N. Cool. Import curl. Let's delete this guy, enter this one, and import. Cool. And then we just do the same thing with the API tokens, guys. Guys, so Quen's gonna be a bit of mischief, so I'm just gonna run this one into Claude. I'm gonna say, hey, here is some API docs, and then just give it the information from this. Quen normally doesn't let me down, but today it's been a little bit naughty, and I'm keeping this stuff in the video just so you can kind of see the process of how much straightforward it is, so you can actually do it. And it looks like it's done it immediately. So let's just see if we can do this. Click on copy and head back over to the beautiful N8N scenario. Import the curl. Enter this one in. Click import. Beautiful. And then I think we just need to give it our API token. So let's just enter that one in. Then we click on test step. It seems to be executing properly. What do we learn from this? We learned that Claude is freaking much better when it comes to coding than anything else. Cool, so this is working in the background. Once it's done that, we should get all the information then that we had through Apify. Should we see if it's running? And guys, that memory being 1 GB is basically amazing to see because it means that it's working for us beautifully in the background. That means that it will land in N8N for us phenomenally. So let's come over to this. It has completed. And what do we have? We have some information, which is cool. But it doesn't seem to have pulled through the data. So guys, I've just rerun this one again. Basically what Claude asked me to do, because it wasn't pulling down the data, was to actually increase some of the items in the URL that was going through. They basically told it to wait for 300 seconds. I'll just show you that really quickly. You see there, like, it's copied this. It says, hey, wait for finish equals 300. So come back over. Has that gone through at Apify? It looks like it's completed. So let's go to N8N, click on it and see what we've got. Cool, and it's just pulled through one for data. So let's just find out what's happened. Cool guys, so I think what we're gonna do next is get a different module to pull it down with the data set. So what I'm gonna do is deactivate Phantom. As hard as it is to say for a moment, grab this, and we could probably just connect these together, to be honest with you, actually, when we're done. So it runs as one sequence, because hashtag why not, right? Let's come down here. So let's link these guys together. We are going to want to do another request to grab it. So let's come down here, HTTP request. And then in the URL, guys, you just get enter this thing that I grabbed from Claude, which is this, which is going to grab the node. And what's really cool is Claude can really help you problem solve this sort of stuff. And then here, we're just going to place this with our API key down below. But if you want to upload these, I will put these in community just so you can grab them. So you don't have to faff around with this stuff. So let me grab the API key. And when that's done, guys, just make sure this is pinned so it can run. And then if I click on test workflow, this should request the data, and voila, we have all the data on the right-hand side, which is very flipping cool, which is decent. So what we're gonna do is come to this guy, we are gonna duplicate him, bring him over and connect, and let's just reanimate and reactivate this guy. and then just pick the data we want to go again. So in this case, we have got the input URL, which is cool. So let's head back over to beautiful Airtable. I'm going to right click. I'm going to click on duplicate table because some will be similar. Phenomenal. And let's just pick out all the stuff that we need then. So first one we're going to want is, okay, let's have a look. URL, that's fine. Caption. All right, sweet. So let's start with this one. We'll go for caption. All right, I'm sold on that. What else do we want? Hashtags is cool. That's fine. URL will be good, I think, actually, wouldn't it? Is this the right URL? Let me just double check. Yeah, that's cool. All right, sweet. We got the right URL. So post URL, that's decent. Captioned. Come back over here. What else have we got? Yeah, replies and likes would be good. You've got comment count, repost, likes. You don't really track that on Instagram, do you? So just delete that. Likes, views, when posted, comment count, that's fine. Any other useful data we want? No, I think that's fine, actually. And we've got some comments, which is cool. These are people who have just said, hey, this is really fucking cool. I'd like to know more about this. This is decent. Latest comments. Images we don't really need to mess around with so much. Video play count. Yeah, that's probably going to be good, actually. Video view count and video plays and video views. So let's call this one here video views. And now let's just duplicate that one and call that one video plays. And then have I think the difference, by the way, between those two things is like unique viewer watching it 20 times type of situation. So like one unique view, but like 20 plays, so to speak. So basically, what's the TLDR? The TLDR is grab all the things that you want. We have got likes. That's really cool and really important. Yeah, cool. And then when posted. So let's then add this to the Airtable. So click on this guy. Map each, no, we don't want to map it each one. So instead of LinkedIn, we want to click on Instagram now, which is cool. Give us a second. And then we just are going to bring them all over. So start with a caption. Beautiful. That's decent. And then comment count. Obviously, you can make this even more complex. Like, you know, if I was spending more time on this, I would add in the transcript. But I think this would be good for now because we want to kind of double click on the ones and listen to it and then grab that and then improve that a little bit. So comment count, I think. It's weird, isn't it? Because it's saying the comment count is 0. Yeah, there are obviously comments there. That is enigmatic to say the least. Okay, I'll look into that one. Okay, cool. Then we've got likes. Let's just add that one in here. Likes count, which is cool. Video view count will go here. And then video play count will go there. And I think that's all of them, actually. And then when posted, video duration. That is actually a really good one. Let's add that one in because I wonder if like video length could be an interesting fact to track. One of my theories at the moment is, you know, 20 to 30 seconds is really good. It all depends on the niche, really. I'm trying to like focus my content to help entrepreneurs crush it with really helpful stuff, so that they tend to have a longer attention span. But nonetheless, it's, you know, it's good to be mindful and check those numbers to see what's going on there. So we want number on that one, right? Okay. Beautiful. All right, let's go back over then. Cool. And then and actually what you can do, guys, is refresh this and it should pop in at the bottom. There you go. Like magic. So would say that's like magic. I quite like that. Video duration, that's cool. Yeah, okay, that's sweet actually. And then when posted, let's just grab what that one looks like. It should say timestamp. Yeah, timestamp will be fine. And then we've got video URL. So grab this one here. Cool, sweet. So I believe now we can just test that and it has said, hey, we're not happy with that, Jack. What is going on? Authorization, please check your credentials in the HTTP node. All right, let's just check out what's going on. Because I removed them to check it. Let me just add this back in real quick. Cool, so we grab the API key and then come back over to the scenario. Beautiful, and just add that in, which is gonna be, there you go, token equals here. Let's get rid of this and add it in. Sorry, come down here, get rid of the APA 5 bit, yeah, and then we'll add it in here. Cool, then we should be able to play that one for us. So let's execute the workflow. That's making some cog turning sounds, which is code for good news. And then if we head over to our database, bada bing, bada bam, we've got all this stuff popping in, which is cool. So now we've got Instagram, we've got LinkedIn. Let's also then show you guys, check out beautiful YouTube now. So I'm going to come here, I'm going to duplicate this table one more time. And obviously, guys, the TLDR of this is just keep repeating it until you've got everything that you need. Now, the YouTube one's really cool. We can get really spicy with the YouTube one. So for this one, we're going to get a little bit of left field, and we're going to head over to make.com. So actually, what I've got, if I head over to my community, let me just come over to the homepage real quick. We can just grab this one to save a little bit of time. So if we come over to Classroom, it should be in this one, our Vault, and on the YouTube section here, YouTube Data Scraper. To go ahead and download this, just right here. Yeah, download. And if you're wondering what it is, by the way, it's like on the left, you've got like the things like social media, voice, make money. But actually, if you come down to assets on YouTube, it'll be there. And then this video is going to be in social media at the top. It'll be number 81. And you can actually just get all the stuff here and download it and all your tech support and stuff there. So you're ready to rock and roll. Then let's head over to make.com. Cool. And let's come down to these 3 beautiful dots and import the blueprint and choose the file. Select the file and voila, it has appeared. So let me kind of give you the detail of what's going on here. What I'm doing is, first of all, I'm using little RSS feeds. And what I'm going to kind of do is grab the last 7 days worth of videos that I've done. That's basically how I want this to run. So I'm just quickly shoot over to rss.app as well. I'll put a link down below. You can get started on this one for free as well. So come on, get started. And what's cool, guys, is if I come and grab my YouTube URL, we come over, let's just grab that real quick. It's getting a little bit dark here, isn't it? Let's go for Jack Roberts. There we go. Oh my gosh, I've searched myself before. This is cool, right? Click on my profile. By the way, if you haven't seen this video, not a billion people watch that, but I actually think it's one of the best videos I've done. I would highly recommend you check it out. So look, I grab this URL. I come over to, where are we at right now? Yeah, this is the problem with having a gazillion tabs is you can never freaking find anything. Come URL, enter this one in, and then hit generate. What this will do is create an RSS feed, which stands for really simple syndication. Basically, it will just find everything I've done. So you can see this. This looks really freaking familiar. This is everything I've done. The other video I did on Lovable and SaaS and blah, 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 all this cool stuff, right? So what you would basically do is come into filters. And this is just for me because, I mean, like, I just want to know what's happened in the last 7 days because I want to do this. But look, you can actually, like if I say feed, cool, I can click on this, which is to hide anything older than 7 days. So when I do this script, and you can see how this is already blocked out. The automations I saw for 10K and the 5 practical skills will only pull through these 4 videos because in our database, we don't need to keep re-adding the same stuff, right? Which is really cool. So then if I come over to overview, I can copy this. This is the key thing that you want, right? Then if I come over to meg.com, which is here, I click on RSS, I'm gonna get rid of this guy, whatever that code was, and enter this, right? Now when I run this, this is all gonna basically, what's gonna happen here? We're going to iterate it, which means it's going to fire through all the different things. Like, for example, check this out. If I unlink and then run this module only, you'll see output 1, bundle 2, right? How to get clients with no budget. That's a good podcast. How to build a $1 million web app. These are all videos I posted in the last 7 days. I've done 4, which means I'm on track and I'm on target and I get a golden sticker for that, which is cool. The iterator means we're going to iterate through that stuff. This one here, the scrape transcript, you can do this with some jiggery pokery with the API if you want to. We actually built this in the community because we wanted to kind of simplify the process. You unlock that level 4 in the group, it just basically put a URL in, it grabs a transcript, simple as that. The ID extractor, guys, what this does is basically takes the ID of the video. So every video that exists on YouTube has like a unique alphanumeric code, and you need that to get information. Then this HTTP request will scrape, and then we're doing this directly with the Google API. We'll scrape comments, we'll scrape the thumbnail, scrape the stats, which is cool, and then we'll pass some stuff out, summarize the transcript, and go to Airtable. The one thing you'll need to do to get this to run properly is go over to this link. Let me just pull it up right now for you. And that's console.cloud.google.com. And basically what you do is create a project, and then you're going to search for here, YouTube API, and click on this guy. You're going to create a credential, you're going to enable it. I'll put a link down below in the description so you can follow that process if you're not set up yet. But basically what I'll enable you to do then is just kind of freaking grab and access the data as well, which is really, really cool and something we want to simplify. Then I come down and then we're going to do a transcript summarizer, which means that maybe we don't want every word that's said, especially if it's a long video. We just get a summary and then add it to Airtable. But in this case, we're going to pick a different Airtable. So let's click on a different base. So this one's going to be social domination, right? Oops. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's come up here. Social media domination. Hang on, has it got like it has got a flame on it. Cool. Cool. Then table is going to be, let's refresh that. And we're looking for YouTube. Sweet. So then let's just pick up the things that we need, right? So one thing is going to be video URL. So let's just add these things real quick. So YouTube video. We are going to want comments. we are going to want to know something like the likes. Of course, give that a beautiful emoji like so. We'll want to know, I guess, what other factors are we actually going to get from the automation by check? Comments, likes, thumbnail could be a cool one actually as well, to be fair, if you want. So I could say, like, I don't know, thumbnail. Because maybe you yourself want to come in and check this out, right? If I come down to attachments. Okay, beautiful, that's good. As if I had like video comments, likes, thumbnails, and this one, if I just had something like when posted, so why don't I just get rid of this? We don't need this one. And do we have views? Yeah, okay, this is really cool. All right, sweet. So let's just come down over to make, and let's just add in those different things. I've got a sneaking feeling that it's not, oh, it doesn't quite let us do that yet. So let me just unlink these and run it once just to show what it looks like. So I can run once. It grabs it, it iterates. YouTube's transcript is doing it. So what's this grabbed? If I look at this, guys, ready? Look at the magic. Okay, it's not right there. It is here. Hey guys, it's Jack. Today we're going to talk about how to get AI automation clients inbound so you can be more like this guy. Cool. And then just starts to go all the way through. We can put a beautiful stop to that. Real quick. Clone this guy, link this guy in, and then we can start to add in all the information. Okay, table is not this one. Let's just grab the right one. Oh, just the base, that's why. Okay. There we go. That kind of makes more sense, right, guys? And then we want to refresh that. We want YouTube. Cool. And then we should be able to enter all the data. YouTube video. So let's go down. It is this one. Beautiful. Comments. Let's get the summary of the comments, which is what we want, which is this guy. Very, very important, by the way. Then we look at likes. So we're looking at statistics. And there you go. You can see that, guys. There's the likes. There is the views. And then we've got number of comments. Do you know what? I think that'd be a nice one, actually. I'm actually going to forget the thumbnail. I'm just going to change this one to number of comments. And let's just make that like, I don't know, a number. There we go. Cool. Cool. All right, sweet. We come back then to make right here. Let's just refresh these just so it updates properly. We should be good to rock and roll. You know, I got a stand for my laptop recently. I'm really conscious. You want to keep that good, crisp, beautiful posture. So come down, numbers. Let's go to statistics. Oh, right there. Comment count, 13. Cool. And then when was it posted? Do we know that data? Do we know any of that data? When was it posted? Oh, yeah, date updated. Cool. All right, sweet. I think that's good. Click save. And then let's run this one more time for great luck. Hit this. Bada bing, bada bam. Cool. Now, if this works properly, we should start to get the Jack Roberts YouTube videos popping up basically here with all our data. And then we will actually, guys, at that stage, be complete with step one, scraping social media. We should get like a big pen to like cross them out. But did we freaking crush that? All right, and there we go, guys. Look, comments, likes, comments, views, blah, 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 and when it was posted. Cool. So now every week, this is going to run on autopilot. All I would need to do is basically set something at the beginning which says, hey, this is how often I want it to run. So just click here, set it every 15 minutes. I'll just say, hey, I want this to run days of the week. And I just say, hey, run on Monday at this time. Then save it. And then, boom, it will just do this every single week for us. So let's activate the scenario. That's fine. And of course, what we want to do is save it. So it's cool. So guys, that's awesome. That's all it would be. This API is free, by the way. There's no cost in that. And it's ready to rock and roll. So let's zoom out there very quickly. So we have scraped social media. Should I get a big line? Actually, let's not get too crazy. Now we're going to build the dashboard, okay? Now, how are we going to do that? Well, obviously, we need to head over to Lovable. And then essentially the key thing I needed to do, one is going to be the design of what I want it to look like. And second of all, it needs to be able to pull the data. And then once it's done that, we're going to add in this additional feature for ChatGPT. So let's head over to the beautiful lovable.dev and make some magic happen. Okay, so, all right, let's think about this. I'm going to say, hey, I would like a beautiful data analytics dashboard that provides stats for my, I'm going to say here, YouTube, LinkedIn, and also Instagram. I'm going to say, crucially, you will receive this data from Airtable. You will make a call to the Airtable database whenever the page loads and share that data. let me know what information you require for this. Like keys, etc. For design, use this as inspiration. Cool. And obviously, guys, I'm going to head over to CodePen. CodePen being a badass, really cool website. I did this before on a previous one, but basically the way that it sort of works, guys, at CodePen, you can kind of just like browse through a bazillion different things and see what you like. And then, like say, I like to look at this. Well, you can get the code for it. This actually is really cool. Let's make him punch. Let's make him jump. Okay, this is funny. But basically, the idea is you can kind of copy the code for anything you want to, and then just enter it in. I'm going to refresh this because I think I destroyed the HTML. No, I didn't. Okay, cool. So look, I come over to Lovable. I'm just going to throw some code in. Okay, that's cool. Oops. And I come down the bottom, and then let's just do one more over here, which is going to be not the guy that keeps dying for us, the JavaScript. Bam. And then we hit enter. Beautiful. Now, I'm expecting a little bit of, shall we say, a little bit of some banter, a little bit of back and forth now with Lovable as we go through this beautiful journey, because the key integration point here. Now, the thing is, guys, like when you're trying to do something really unique and epic, you're trying to integrate these things together. It's only ever going to get easier over time, right? But this is one of the reasons why it's so freaking cool, because no one's really prepared to do the steps it takes. And like, you know, say you work for your company or you've got clients, like to be able to pull together these crisp dashboards. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's got this like sick, amazing, beautiful, interactive, engaging graphics. Like, and that's always been the curse of like the data guy, right? The data guy can show you the data, but it's like not about the data. It's about presenting the data in a way that we can actually make decisions about it, right? And the way you enable people to make decisions is you reduce the cognitive requirements to understand what this actually means, which is why I always harp on about design. And I think it's the biggest, most underutilized hack ever, because there's this great book called Don't Make Me Think. It's like the design should just glide over you. It should just kind of like, oh, well, obviously these are the things that we need to double click into. So I say that to say, I think that's really important. Now, I'm going to preempt some problems here. And what I'm going to do in my preemption is head over to Claude. And essentially what I'm going to do is open a new window over here. And I'm going to say, hey, I am integrating Airtable with Airtable with Lovable.dev. I would like it to pull down data from 3 tabs. What will be required information-wise for Lovable to do this? Please provide instructions. Bam. So I'm just going to find out just from Claude's perspective what it thinks that we're going to need. So Claude thinks we're going to need the base ID and an Airtable API key. Okay, and view IDs. Okay, that's interesting. So we know that's what we're going to need. So we've got the API key, which is cool. And then we're going to need the URL. And we can find that there. So if I come over to Lovable, let's preempt this, for example, and say, hey, the base ID is, and then we're going to give it the URL of our beautiful page. Here, I'm just going to copy it, for example, come here and bam. And I'm going to say, let me know when you're ready for the API key. So you can grab the data. Also, yeah, actually that's fine. Decent. So what Lovable do is magic in the background, and then we can give it this request. And guys, would you look at this? It preempted me. So Airtable base ID, let's enter that, and then we need the Airtable API key. So let's just grab that real quick from Airtable. Come down to build a hub, come over here, and I believe the API keys are here. So guys, you create a new token or use the one you used previously, come over to Lovable, and then enter in your Airtable API key right here. And then guys, basically the Airtable base ID is the first string of numbers after airtable.com. So if I click on connect to Airtable, let's just see if this works for us in the background. I'll be honest with you guys, this is pretty flippin' impressive. All right, app has encountered an error, which is cool. Actually guys, I had a thought, I wonder if we could just share this and it could scrape it, right? Like that's another idea actually, we just give it a link to view it. Because you could do this already with other people, like just give them a link, they can check the data and pull it down if they want to. So let's see if we can do that, for example. Cool, copy link. And then we can try that with Lovable, because the entering it in didn't work. Obviously, we expected that. You need to do a little bit of finessing, but let's see if this works. Cool, so a small error. Let's just clarify that and get that sorted. Beautiful, guys. And look at this gorgeous design. This is freaking crazy. This is really impressive. YouTube analytics, subscribers, total views, has great channel. Okay, so this is dummy data. Now we're going to give it the real data. So I wonder if I could say, hey, here is the shareable link to my Airtable. Can you scrub that and enter in the info with the corresponding, I guess you'd say like column titles for the data. And also, hey, I would like to connect ChatGPT to interact with the data. So again, this is another milestone now. Now we've got the design. Beautiful. So we've scrubbed the data, we've got the design. The last bit now is just getting the data into the Airtable and then be able to use ChatGPT to have some conversations with it, which would be really flipping cool. And then we can start rocking and rolling and having a good time with it, which I think is flipping ace. So we'll see if this is possible. This kind of data, guys, is going to be freaking awesome. And obviously you can share this per client, put credentials behind it, put signing credentials behind it, connect accounts to Supabase like we did. So we can just add a login section to this like we did in the last video. If you haven't seen that, I'll put a link on screen so you can do it. And yeah, then basically you're only ever going to be able to access this with like secure login credentials, which is super, super important. And the other thing to bear in mind here, guys, is that this isn't sensitive data. So it's, I don't really, you know what I mean? But it's like, if you actually having very sensitive data, you'd want to go deep on the sort of, you know, security stuff. So I might do a full video on that if you want. Let me know down below. Actually, we can go into more detail about how you'd actually physically do that and what that would look like. Airtable AI Assistant. That's cool. Let's have a look. And has it pulled through the data yet? Let's just see what's going on. So you'll need my OpenAI API key. And then we're going to say here, I do not see my Airtable data. So now I'm trying to do two things. One is show your API key down here, which is fine. But I wanted to do, first of all, is sort the Airtable thing. So look, let's focus on getting the Airtable data. How do you propose we add that in? Can you use the shareable link, or do you want the credentials? Boom, I think I set one of it. There we go, beautiful. So what it's suggesting is we're gonna hard code the ID for the table, and then when I give it the API key, that can work. What I suggest you do, guys, if you're doing this with multiple clients, is you can basically give them a unique code for their Airtable ID and unique API key and build this once, and then you can actually kind of do this across multiple different clients at the same time, basically. So that's good. I'm gonna grab my API key, and then we're able to rock and roll. Cool, so it's done. I have one. Where should I enter it? Question mark. Give that a beautiful second, get this updated. And already the UI for this, guys, I think is freaking really impressive. So this is saying Airtable AI System, but it says OpenAI key there. Let's just clarify that. Cool, so it says OpenAI key, not Airtable. Let's just see what's going on with that. All right, cool. Now this is looking a bit nicer. Let's look at the Airtable API key. Can we enter it in? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I've entered it in, saved the Airtable API key. Cool, all right, sweet. Data loaded, successfully loaded 5 records from API tape, your Airtable. Let's see where that is. Well, actually, guys, it says, I was about to say it's not working, but if I click on refresh data, allegedly, that's supposed to work. So if I click on refresh data, let's see, has that worked? This is really nice though. I really like this. This is actually really freaking nice. So I'll say, hey, refresh data didn't work. Okay, so allegedly, guys, we were using the wrong Airtable reference. What that is the thing that is the actual Airtable ID in the URL. So I just pasted it and I was like, dude, like, could this be the wrong thing? Apparently it said that it is. So let's click off this and see if this can load up now. We click off here and come down. So the good news here, guys, is it's now working and it's successfully connected to Airtable. The next bit is actually just getting the data and displaying it in the UI. So we'll figure that bit out and then hopefully we'll get the full beautiful data in our dashboard. Cool, so it's still not working. Let's just get it to re-attack the code I think it's making good progress. It's definitely connected, but it's not quite displaying yet. So let's do this, try this slightly alternate strategy. And guys, one final prompt and we're here. Look at this. How to get AI automation clients, 5 proven steps. The number of likes is there 77, and we've got and it's also pulled through top performing content for YouTube. That is freaking unbelievable. Okay, that's insane. So if I just say validate this correct case, if I said, like, let's have a look. How to get AI automation clients. Okay, this one here, right? How to build a $1 million love app. That is 8,273 views. Let's check that that is correct on YouTube. God, it's right there. This is freaking beautiful. Oh my goodness, this was worth a little bit of investment. All right, guys, so I've taken a step back because this dashboard is great and it's pulling through YouTube data. But what I'm finding is happening here is it's not pulling through LinkedIn data properly or Instagram. And my theory for this was twofold. So I've gone offline, I've done some research and understanding why I think this might work, and I think this is a good learning. So what I've done is rebuilt this app, and I tried again on this one here, because I worked like 1,000 times basically, so I'm trying to get the data and it wasn't working. And I think what we need to do ideally is to get the data connection in first, and then add the design in afterwards. So what I'm finding with Lovable, freaking amazing platform, but you've got to get it in the right sequence. And this is also the case if you're trying to do logins and passwords and loads of data security stuff. It's good to front load that, is what I'm finding. So all I did, guys, I basically went over to Claude and I basically said, look, this is what I'm trying to do. Here's my objective. And I gave it this prompt, and I'll put it down below so you can just grab it and use it. But essentially what I've said to it is like, look, I just want you to build the data connections. Let's actually make sure we get all the data that is completely accurate, not partially accurate, 100% accurate. And my theory here is once we get the actual linchpin of the automation done, the linchpin of the connectivity, then we can kind of work on all the cosmetic stuff. My theory at the moment with this stuff is that when you do too much cosmetics, it kind of starts to complicate the code a little bit. So let's log in and I'll show you actually what I've managed to do with this simple prompt. So let me come over to the database. All right, so look at this, guys. I come in, enter the API key, hit set key. Now check this out. And this doesn't look as flashy, guys, but look, it's got all of the data for LinkedIn done. It's got all of the data for YouTube. See, look at this, right? I come down, 71 likes, 1877 views, 13 comments count, blah, 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 all the same stuff, comments. 2650 101, let's just validate that's correct. Come over to YouTube, and do we see 2650 101? We should do, let's just double check. And just like that, guys, 2650 101, awesome. So what's happening now is we have all of the beautiful data, and the data is completely connected. It's given us status, which is really flipping cool. So what we've been able to do, guys, is do it. The other thing that I'd encourage you to do as well on the social is on each of the Airtable sets is make the naming conventions consistent. So I basically change these to be URL, caption, comment count, repost, likes, blah, 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 to be the same on all 3 of them. So basically, no matter what it is, some will just have empty fields, which is fine, but I've made it consistent. And again, this will be available with the blueprints in the community. But essentially, if you're building it yourself, just make sure that you have them consistent. And if that didn't work, my next step was going to be to have a unique Airtable base for each one of them, which is cool, and we've done it. So the next 2 things we want to do, one is we need to make this look awesome, and we need to do the so what, which is, okay, that's great, but now how do I actually ask questions about that? So what I'm going to do first of all is integrate the AI using our principles that we just discovered about functionality first, and like presentation second. I don't know what that says about the way that we do things, but hey, who cares? It needs to look good, right? So I'm basically gonna give it a prompt now that says like, hey, add a ChatGPT window or portal, shall we say, at the top of each tab, and in brackets, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. I will provide an API key when prompted. I would like the ChatGPT module to have access to all of the data on that tab. Simple as that, bam. Now guys, what I'm gonna get this to do is integrate the ChatGPT so we can ask it questions about, hey, how do we do this? And how do we do that? Then I may give it some pre-built questions. And then what I'm probably going to do then is get this information on a graph, potentially if you fancy it, if we want to make it really fancy, then we can start to do other things like we did here. And again, obviously, then you can take this any way you want to. Like, we can get live API plugins for your subscribers, for your followers, Instagram, LinkedIn, have it on graphs, and all this sort of really cool stuff. Like we can start to add this in, but the point is we've got to get the core functionality, then we can add all these beautiful bells and whistles afterwards. All right, cool. So this says that it's done. Let me just sign in here, for example, and then I'm going to go and grab the API key, and it should be asking us for the Open API key. Let's just find out where that is. There you go. Enter your Open API key, ask about your LinkedIn data. So we're going to make this look a lot better, obviously. So first thing we want to do is head over to the beautiful platform.openai.com. We're going to come down, or we need to log in. I'll just log in real quick. Beautiful. So come down here. I'm going to create a brand new key. Let's call this one Lovable with a few E's, and then create a new secret key. Then guys, just copy that key, and then we'll come back over to our beautiful thing here, and then let's just enter our API key in once we've signed in here. Okay guys, I've entered in my things. If I ask it a question like, hey, what types of content are working best for LinkedIn? Boom, hit enter, and we'll see what it comes back with. Hopefully now, obviously it comes back, it means we've integrated ChatGPT, which is flipping awesome. So I will look in. Success stories and case studies. So posts that share more success stories, such as individuals scaling their business or achieving significant milestones, tend to receive high engagement. This is freaking cool. So guys, we have now just integrated ChatGPT. We've got the data for YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. One of the things that we could do here, guys, because look at this example, 13 comments, blah, 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 is we could, if we wish to now, have things like the second it loads, auto-generate insights button. So we're going to do that. But what I want to do first of all is now make it look pretty. So to do that, let's, in fact, you know what? Maybe I'll say, let's add some buttons. The auto-generate prompts. That's auto-generate prompts. And one should be something like, I don't know, like, give me insight. Something like, what do top performers have in common? Or maybe like top performing insights. Maybe that's a better way to describe it, actually. Actually, am I zoomed out? I might be zoomed out a little bit. Okay, this is better, isn't it, actually? Okay, now we're back on that. Top performing insights. And then the other one will be poor performing insights. So we'll get these buttons. Let's have these as buttons. Beautiful. Add this in, and then once that's done, guys, what I propose to do next then is just add the aesthetics. And then once that's done, I mean, we could pretty much sit here together drinking our beautiful coffees, our beautiful flat whites, actually, our beautiful flat whites, and just add new things in. So what I would want to do next with this is add in my subscribe account for LinkedIn, Instagram, or follow account, whatever, for Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And basically tie that to different APIs, and you can start to build this incrementally. And guys, if you are somebody who's trying to sell this to different businesses, you build it once. You build the application once, you get unique credential logins for those individual things, like unique codes. In other words, you cannot access it unless you have the code, because connected to different databases. And then you're ready to rock and roll, right? So, because it'll just be different versions of that thing, which is really cool. Presuming that you keep it consistent with your Airtable, which I think is fripping amazing. And for me, this is just going to help our team save so many hours now, because my team don't need to then go and scroll the Instagram and like what this. You obviously always want a case of like, okay, what feels like it's working, but to get actual insights here, like if I just say, hey, let's go on YouTube, for example, and I just, hey, give me insights, and let's see what it comes back with. I'm very curious to find this out, actually. And obviously, I've done ChatGPT, guys. You can connect this to DeepSeek, you can connect this to Claude, anything you want to. Video titles and topics. So the videos that focus on AI automation, client acquisition, building web applications, and creating AI agents, which are trending topics in the technology and entrepreneurship space, blah, blah, blah. The video titled How to Build a $1 Million Web App has the highest views, 8K views and almost 300 likes, indicating strong interest in the topic. So what we would do is refine these tools. But fundamentally, guys, how freaking ridiculous is this? The other thing I might do is add in images, so I can start to do thumbnail analysis on top of this and build up all the data. I mean, think about this as an app that pulls through every piece of data for your entire YouTube channel. That could, if you just did that for YouTube, you would freaking crush with that. Now, I actually now want to improve the visibility of this dashboard, which I think is really cool. Does it look as good as our last one? Not yet, but it works. And I think that's really important to bear in mind, that like, as an interesting learning for Lovable. And the other key thing I would say, guys, is that like with builds, it's like if you get deep into a build and it isn't working, sometimes it's easy to say, okay, cool, we need to hit the reset button. So when you're building this stuff, guys, like if it does feel that, you know, it's not working, it's fine to restart the build with a slightly different approach, because it seems to, once it's built the architecture, kind of solidify around that. So I'm gonna head over to CodePen. I'm gonna get, let's just look for dashboard. Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna grab all the CSS, and then I'm gonna come back over to the beautiful place here. I'm gonna say cool. Now we're going to make it look epic in caps. Do not lose any functionality in upgrading the design. And I'm going to say here is design inspo code. Oops. I accidentally hit enter. I wonder if it will kick off now. By the way, I'm going to put the CSS, and then let's come back and grab the second part, which is going to be all the JS babble. Come back over, type this one in here, and then what I'm going to do is just re-enter that prompt real quick. The other cool thing is if this goes a bit sideways, what you can do is just hit stop and do it. There you go, hit enter, hit the colon, beautiful. Now guys, one of the things that I did when I was building this with this previous version here is I went back and forth a lot, and I was like, okay, try this and redo this. And if you find yourself getting stuck in a loop when you're trying to get it to do certain particular actions, completely normal. There is a point of this valley of death. After you cross which point, you may want to restart it on this thing. So AI is not at the point now where it will just, you know, inch for inch, just understand everything that you're doing and where you want to get to. It requires a little bit of finesse. There's a best practice to doing this. And that includes really thinking about it. So one of the things that I've taken away from this build with you here is to actually chat with Claude and have a conversation that says, look, this is my desired outcome. If we were to build this systematically, what would be the very first base case prototype, like functional thing? Build that. Like, for example, if you're integrating with something different, let's say, let's just get the hardest, most fragile part of it built, like the foundations, and then we'll add all the finesse things after that. So this is loading. When it's done, hopefully we'll have something sexy, and our build will be complete, and then I will continue to build on this over time and absolutely crush it. Okay, so allegedly it's done, but obviously need to improve this key, but let's just see what happens. All right, cool. Let's have a look. We've got the LinkedIn data. It's decent. It's not quite exactly what I want. So, for example, I'd say, hey, this is a step in the right direction, but let's make it look less like the image A and more like the image B. Why am I doing this, guys? I'm doing it because I'm a stickler for design. I'm a stickler for the feel. And I think if it looks good and makes sense. I mean, I was listening to the All In podcast recently. And what was really interesting is I forgot the name of the software. But basically, they had this thing where every coder in the company wanted to use this software. And they'd created like billions of dollars worth of value on it. And one of the reasons for that is it was quite a saturated market anyway. But they just really, really, really got into the UI to the point where all the developers like, dude, it's just so intuitive. And like, you want to be that for yourself. You want to be that for your clients. Like, it's so underrated, that ability to do that. This build's come back unsuccessful. Let me just do this bit. We'll fix the build, and then that should be decent. What is cool about Lovable? Besides something successful, we can just get it to rebuild, which is fine. All right, guys, so it's come back up. It's ready to rock and roll. We've got a little bit of a UI change, which is cool. And then we've got it. And now it's kind of, it will incrementally keep on improving stuff like this, which is decent. So we can come down here, and then I say, hey, what do I want to do here? Well, we give it the OpenAI key, of course. Let's just go grab that from platform.openai real quick. All right, guys, I also just asked it to add in some graphs and colorful graphics. So let's just enter our API key in real quick and then set the key and check out what it's done. AI chat assistant. All right, this is cool. And do we have any beautiful graphics yet? Not by the looks of it. Oh, because the build was unsuccessful. Let's just double check why that is and see if we can fix that real quick. All right, try to fix. So guys, now we've added some graphs. You can basically have fun and do whatever you like to. If I, for example, come down and I want to have a look at top performing insights, give me insights. Again, we've connected this to ChatGPT, meaning we can build and do whatever we want to. We can play around with it and get these incredible features. Guys, I hope you found this one interesting. If you haven't seen how to connect now Lovable to PayPal, I really encourage you to check that one out. That will really increase the things that you can do in this application. I'll put the video somewhere on screen. But in any case, have a beautiful week, and I'll see you in the next video.